right, well, let's get right into it. Spawning in the top left position. As the green Protoss player, he had some great micro that last game. It was a really good match, but he took just a little bit too much economic damage from the drops that came from his Terran opponent. He is from Team Rox.Kis, and he is Fraer. And spawning in the bottom left position as the red Terran player. He's currently teamless, but really great control that last game, and just non-stop harass and dealing with harass. Managed to get him a nice game 1 victory. He is aLive. So Entombed Valley is a little bit more of a map that these players would be used to. I have to say the drop harass on Arkanoid is something that was really lacking in Pro League, something that you actually don't see that much. So it was a really exciting game to watch. I'm not sure if we're going to have players going for the same style this game. I think we might see something a little more standard out of Fraer, possibly a little more aggressive out of aLive. I know aLive is a Terran player that is not afraid to pull punches. He's a Korean monster. I believe he won IPL 4 in 2012. So he's strong. He hasn't had any super big results recently. Actually made a pretty decent run in IPL 6 qualifiers. So he's trying to get back on top of his game, but he has quite a few SCVs queued up here. So it looks like he's going to be trying to expand after this barracks. Pretty standard play for Entombed Valley. This does not surprise me at all. Very standard Terran play. And out of Fraer, we're going to have a Nexus first. Pretty greedy build, but if he can get away with it, and it looks like he might with the 1-Rax expand, no gas coming from aLive. So this is going to be very nice. aLive also not choosing to scout, so there's no close spawns enabled on this map. We actually have those unbuildable rocks added as well. So the ladder version's been fixed, and SCV is going to move out to scout right now, but the probe is already spotted the SCV, so he knows, okay, this is probably where he is. He's going to come in here and most likely see this command center go down. The SCV is hiding, and the Marine will actually be able to block this probe in. So Fraer won't be able to see the command center, but he's going to come in. Okay, they're only in 1 supply depot. You have no gas. What are you possibly doing? It has to be a fast expand. You're not going to fool me. aLive, 2 racks on this map? I don't think so. You'd have to proxy them, and then the first barracks wouldn't have been home. So we have 1 gas barely being mined actually for Fraer. He's going to put additional probes on that. Oh, I love this. He's using the rally probes to go into there, and well, aLive's aware that this is a Nexus first. Now you saw the lack of the gas, he saw the lack of the cybernetics core, and he saw the Nexus in the natural expansion. So he's got a very good idea of what's going on in this game, and he's going to go for his standard additional 2 barracks. I'm a little bit surprised we're not seeing him take a bit of a risk. aLive is a player that is not afraid to do something a little bit out of the ordinary based on what he scouts. I really wouldn't be surprised if he just threw down the 3rd command center, for example, instead of going for the additional barracks. But I love this tiny bit of Marine pressure. It's just an SCV and a Marine, but he's playing on some heat here. He gets 1 probe, might actually get a 2nd. This would be huge. There's another Marine here. The Zealot's going to be chasing him away, though, so aLive should be cutting his losses now and just getting on out of here. But that was pretty nice, actually. He's got 3 probe kills because he got that scout earlier as well. So, man, it's the little things that count. That tiny Marine poke from aLive was more than enough. There are additional Marines here to bait the rest of this Zealot. So aLive will not be in jeopardy from that, but he's got his standard gas follow-up going. Just completing now, and he will be getting a tech lab very soon to begin his stim production, and Marauders if necessary. But the Zealot is here, and I love this. He tucked the SCV back. The Stalker just came out, but the SCV is going to be able to get in. No, it will not. And it won't be able to see anything, but it was really nice play. Maybe needed to wait just a couple more seconds, but there are 2 Zealots here. And with the Stalker, no bunker, this could actually be a little bit scary for aLive. He could take a lot of damage. He's producing 2 Marines at a time, needs to queue up another pair. Pokes like this are pretty scary, but he's got a good number of Marines out now. I don't think he's in too much danger. The Stalker's going to step up, take some paint damage. And we have aLive continuing to do that base vision gathering. Building placement, which I really like, making sure, okay, if there's a pylon here, you can't warp up into my main base. If you try to do a warp prism drop here, no. And he's going to step down here. He's not going to be able to catch anything. Pokes that Stalker once more, but I like this. He's being cautious, and he's actually going to run these Marines around. Now, Fraer did see this, so this strikes me slightly curious. He might not be 100% sure what's happening right now. He's going to move the Stalker in, pokes his... Oh, wait, there's no bunker. There's no Marines here. Well, I'm just going to poke your SCVs and maybe kill a Mule. And that actually is a little bit painful for him. Now, these SCVs are actually going to have to run up here to attack this, and what aLive is basically trying to do here is be really aggressive with this ball of Marines. But I think two really well-placed force fields with this unit warp in could shut this down hard. He needs to step back, and right now, no, 4 Marines get caught, will be eviscerated. One more Marine does run up there. He's going to change his mind very quickly about going out today. And he's going to lose about 5 Marines, so not a very good trade. And this Stalker pokes another one to death on the way home. There's a proxy pylon being laid down, and this could be dangerous. We have 5 warp gates on the field for Fraer. He does not have any tech. He's only now just starting the robotics facility. He wants to do a lot of damage to aLive and punish him for not building a bunker, punish him for leaving his Marines out in the open like this. And while aLive doesn't have too many units to deal with this could be very, very dangerous for him to have to hold. And he's actually starting to produce Marauders now, so his gas count, he doesn't have enough to get his starport up. He needs Marauders to deal with the Stalkers. And here we go. Fraer is going to be moving up into the natural expansion. He has some force fields laid down. There is a Marauder in the bunker. Kills one of the Stalkers, but the bunkers are going to fall. We need another Zealot Warp in the tank for these Marauders, though. They do a lot of damage to the Stalkers. And another bunker is going to be started for aLive, but he needs to bring in some additional units. He's whipping in a lot of Stalkers, but double Marauder production is going to be a little bit more effective against this. However, there is a lot of supply on the field for aLive. He's stepping up, focus firing down the Marauders. They have a lot of hit points, but these SCVs are going to be pulled off the line, and Fraer's going to get a good couple of kills here. I love this, bringing in additional pylons, whipping in more Zealots from the side. Those SCVs have to get in front of them to tank that damage, and now the Stalker's shutting down the bunker production, killing additional SCVs. Even a Hellion being produced. aLive trying to get out as many units as he can, but stim is complete. I think Fraer is going to need to back off in a little bit unless he can warp in a lot more Zealots. The Stalker's not so great against Marauders once stim pack is out, and he's at one less force field left. Warping in a couple more Zealots. He's starting to overextend here a bit. aLive is going to be in a somewhat reasonable position, except that he's got so few HP on these Marauders, but the Stalkers are going to be able to overwhelm this force. The Marauders have stimmed themselves to death. Not many hit points at all left, and this is exactly what Fraer needs to bust through here and possibly take a quick game number 2. Stalkers continuing to pick these units apart. We see a scan out of aLive, sees, okay, you've got everything. GG, and Fraer will take game number 2, so a really fast game number 2, and what an exciting start to this match. That was pretty awesome, guys. You know, aLive, he really overextended with that Marine run by, and Fraer saw it, and he took advantage of it, and hey, you can't blame the guy for responding to what he scouted. So, great game number 2, and we're just going to go to break for a second while we get game number 3 situated. Score is currently 1-1 between Fraer and aLive. Stay tuned.